Hi everyone, welcome back to Almost Normal. There were two instances yesterday where I couldn't tell if I was being rational in my thinking or if I am slowly becoming a Karen. It was hard to tell, so I just want to ask you guys about these two scenarios and what you would think about them if they happened to you. The two things were small inconveniences, and no one was breaking any rules, no one was breaking the law, but they seemed to be breaking some sort of etiquette in like being a citizen of the world in which other people live. Do you know what I mean? And I was getting really heated about both scenarios. So anyway, the first one was I was in the bookshop, okay? A bookshop, classically known to sit and just read a book, not even read actually, just buy a book, read the beginning of the book and then leave. Anyway, in this bookshop, there was a section where you could sit. They had like little seats and stuff by the windows, and that's the only place you can sit in the whole thing, in the whole building. And so I took my book up to there so I could read the first few pages to see if I wanted to buy this book or not. And this person was, first of all, taking up one of the very limited seats for people to sit and read. Taking up one of the seats, was not reading, didn't have a book anywhere in his vicinity at all, and was, I think, looking through his Instagram stories. I couldn't quite tell, but he kept playing I Like the Way You Kiss Me by Artemis, but like a weird remix of it, and the only one little snippet of it, over and over and over again, on the loudest volume setting I think you can get your phone onto. I think it seemed even louder than that. But it was so strange in this silent store where no one was even really talking. This one person was just blasting music and everyone just started to leave because they couldn't read while he was playing the music. And I was just like, I would never do this, okay? This is the equivalent for me, or even worse actually maybe, of when you're sitting on the bus, and I don't know if this happens anywhere else, but in London this happens a lot, when you're sitting on the bus and someone doesn't take headphones with them and plays their music out loud on the bus to themselves. Like, first of all, when it comes to that, I admire the fucking confidence, because I could never, like, even when someone wants me to connect my phone to the aux cord in the car, I'm a little skeptical about that. Like, I'm like, I don't know what's going to come up next. Maybe not, someone else do it, Playing your music out loud on a bus to people that do not want to hear your music, and I can assure you of that, that is confidence right there. That is true disconnection. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making it a word. Disconnection of your surroundings, okay? That is you living in this little bubble that you've created, and you are just living your life. And to be honest, it's fucking annoying, but part of me admires it because I just could never. It's just not in my DNA to be able to do that. But anyway, this guy yesterday was like almost the worst version of that, because he was just playing music in a bookshop. Like, I was in a mall, basically like a strip mall. Like, there were other places you could go and sit. It was also a really sunny day. You just sat outside on a bench. It was just odd. It was very strange. It was just so loud. I was like, what? What's going on here? What is happening here? Anyway, that was number one. Obviously, I didn't say anything to the person. I just like silently suffered in silence and then left. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell anyone how to live their life. Also, they weren't breaking any rules, and like no one was saying anything. So like, I'm not gonna be the person to say it. So I don't think I'm full Karen yet. But like, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. This is bananas, you guys. What the hell is going on here? Anyway, that was number one. Number two was I went to a comedy show last night, okay? I went to a comedy show, which was so fun, by the way. Like, if you need a night out, go to a comedy show, because they're not that long. You can kind of dip in and dip out. Like, it's very casual. It's just super fun. If you're thinking of taking someone on a date, like, I would do that. Over the theatre, over the movies, I would say. And the comedy I saw yesterday was, I would rate the whole overall comedy, if I rated everyone who went together, as like a 6.5. I would say funny to not funny. I would say it would like So I would say it was 70-30 to the not funny. However, stand-up comedy, even when it fucking flops and falls to the floor, can be kind of funny too. And there were a lot of those yesterday. So anyway, good comedy, bad comedy. Like, bad comedy, bad stand-up comedy is so bad that it's still entertaining. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so bad that there's still something there. And when it's good, it's fucking good. It's great. And there's no in between. There's no like, okay, stand-up comedy. It just doesn't exist. Anyway, I went with my brother and my husband, and we were sitting in the seats, obviously, and this woman was sitting in front of us, okay? And she did two things that bothered me. I'm fucking a Karen. Like, I think I am, I'm fucking a Karen. That was a weird sentence. I fucking am becoming a Karen, okay? In my old age, I feel it. But anyway, she was doing two things. First of all, it was a completely dark room and very, very, very small. Like, the performers can see the people in the audience, okay? Because they pick on people in the audience and they like riff with them and talk to them and like make fun of them and roast them. It's a tiny, 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 tiny room. And this woman, like, okay, I'm a little bit snooty when it comes to people like texting in the cinema or in the theater or somewhere where they really shouldn't be texting. But I get it, you know? I'm like, it's totally fine. Because every once in a while, like, I'll like check the time or like check my texts or something like that. Like, we're human, okay? We have been trained to be obsessed with our phones. Like, I totally understand if you're sitting through a 2.5 hour movie, you're gonna check your phone once in a while. However, when I check my phone, I like put my shirt over it or like my arms, or like I open it up like in my bag and try and see it to like eliminate the light that could shine into other people's faces. This woman, however, it almost seemed like she wanted me to read her messages, okay? She was holding out her phone like, oh, my friend's calling me, I'll call back. Like this, like this. Up, arms up, screen to my face, brightness all the way to the top, literally like doing this, scrolling, okay? Scrolling. All my friends are texting me. Oh my god, whoa, there's a lot of fucking text going on. Final destination, anyone want to go tonight? I'm very down. I'm so down. Hold on. This is important. I have to go see Final Destination. Speaking of theatres, my friends are literally just texting me. I'm really excited to go see that film. Anyway, yeah. She was literally like holding out her phone and I could read every single text. Also, she had like a passcode on her WhatsApp. I've never seen that before. Anyway, that was the one thing she was doing. And then the second thing she was doing is she kept putting up her hair in different styles, but didn't have a hair tie. Okay, so she would do all this effort. Okay, she did like a slick back bun. She did like a high, what do you call it? Like a French braid. She did a bunch of different hairstyles, but she did not have a hair tie. So as you can imagine, it's like, hold on. It's like her doing this, you know, putting hair up into the bun, and then maybe like a half up, half down situation, and then maybe like a French braid or like two braids. Okay, it's like a lot of this happening, but she didn't have a hair tie. So she would do that for like 5 minutes, and then her hair would just fall down and would not be in the style that she put it in. She kept doing that over and over and over again. And I was like, what is this? Okay. Feels like an anxiety kind of thing, but it's just like, please. I like almost wanted to tap on her shoulder and be like, do you want a hair tie? But like, I don't think she did. I think she just wanted to play with her hair. But it was like elaborate hair playing, you know, like hair playing, I understand is like, you know, sort of like wrapping it around, but like this was like elaborate. This was like doing a hairstyle and then just like not having the equipment to fulfill the hairstyle that she wanted. Anyway, let me know. Am I valid or am I just being fucking like old witch now? I don't know. I really don't know. I hope I'm not. Let us know how many people are coming and I'll get the tickets on my stub so we can all sit together. Yay! 3 tickets for me and fam. Okay. Anyway, literally let me know because I yesterday was like, things are bothering me more than usual. And I know that they are. Like, I can tell that I get upset about things that like 25-year-old Rita wouldn't have given a fuck about. And I believe that's aging. I believe that's called aging and like feeling more entitled to spaces than I used to be, you know? I'm like, this is my fucking Tuesday night out and she's ruining it for me. It's like, okay, relax. Just like actually relax. Anywho, let's go on with what I actually wanted to talk about today, and not me evolving into that woman that lives on the porch and just yells at passersby, because I feel like that is me in the slightly near future. Just, making problems. Making problems. I really don't want to be that person. Actually, one of the comics yesterday was like, in my old age, I feel like I wake up and I like want to have problems. And I'm like, I get that. I get that. This guy was like 50 and I'm 27, but I already get it, so whatever. I really hope that doesn't develop into something crazy, because I'm gonna have to get like a lot of therapy for that. I just want to live peacefully in my life. Anyway, let's start talking about what I actually want to talk about today, which is I did something the other day that I am not particularly proud of, okay? And it is very familiar to old behaviors that I used to participate in, which I really spent a lot of time trying not to participate in any further. And when I initially did the thing, I was like proud of myself. I was like, okay, yeah, you did that. Like, nice, like pat myself on the back. And then soon after that initial like, yay, Rita, I was like, oh shit, that's like really, really bad. Like, let's not do that again. What I did the other day was, and it's going to sound like you're going to be like, huh? What I did the other day was, instead of eating dinner, I went to the drawer of tea bags, took out a ginger tea bag, put it in a cup, put some boiling water in there, and that was my dinner. Instead of going to the stove or the restaurant or anywhere where proper food is served, I decided that what I wanted for dinner was flavored ginger water. Now, this doesn't seem that crazy, initially hearing that. It's like, okay, like maybe you weren't so hungry, like whatever, you just had a tea. I was very, very hungry, I was very hungry. I was very excited to eat dinner. But something came over me and I was like, I don't feel like I deserve to eat dinner today. I don't feel like I want to eat dinner. I feel like I've eaten too much today and, I'm hungry, but that doesn't matter. Like, pain is gain. Gains are pain. You get pain, no gain kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so I just had a tea, went to bed hungry, felt kind of like agitated and, the usual things that one would feel if they did not eat anything. And just bear in mind also, like, that day I did not eat like more than a normal amount of food. I did not like go to McDonald's 10 times and then Domino's and then donuts and then I went to go get spaghetti. I had probably a bowl of yogurt with some berries, some eggs and toast. That's probably what I ate that day. Like just completely normal, bare minimum even, I would say. That would be the bare minimum that someone should probably be intaking in the day. For some reason, I decided I'm going to just have a ginger tea and not, give my body what it wants, what it needs. Just interesting. Now, this is behavior that I used to partake in a lot. I used to not have an eating disorder, but I had very disordered eating. I thought about eating way too much in the sense that I didn't want to eat. And it was just on my mind all the time. It was like a constant thought, like, did I eat too much? Do I have to not eat? Da 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 da. And I kind of started to get over that, and now I feel like it's all kind of coming back, and I have a few theories as to why this might be. Now, when I was growing up, there was this really great fun thing, joking, very toxic, very horrible thing called pro-ana, okay? And this basically means pro-anorexia. Pro-ana content was all over the fucking place, and I spent days and days, hours on end on this social media site called Tumblr, which I honestly actually tried to make an account the other day because I was just like so curious to see like what it was about now, and it's kind of doesn't exist. It doesn't really like exist. But anyway, there was this thing called Tumblr. And Tumblr had a lot of this pro-ana content. And pro-ana content was usually black and white, very artistic photos of a woman's ribs or a woman with a really, really tiny waist with like a tape measure wrapped around it, or a very thin woman's feet, like very bony feet standing on a scale with a very low number on it and stuff like that. And then it was also a lot of like skinny people in bathrooms writing like quotes on the mirror being like, I don't even know. I try to block that out of my mind, but like something about like how being skinny is like the top thing that you could want, okay? And like when I say skinny, I don't mean like slim figure. I mean like skinny, 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 skinny. But like very, I would say, unhealthy looking people. But it was promoting this sort of lifestyle, and it was saying like, don't eat, like you could look like this kind of thing. And also when I was growing up, there was none to zero content about body positivity. That is like a fairly new phenomena, which is kind of hard to believe, but when I was growing up, it was a lot of like, you have to look very skinny. It was like very Kate Moss figures that people all wanted to look like. And then you had the extra, 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 which was the pro-ana content, which was like the really which was the really unhealthy, toxic content that young people were seeing because it was all over social media. I mean, social media was literally memes of porn, like gifs of porn, pro-ana content, and like sad quotes written on car windows and stuff like that. Like that was literally my social media. That was what I grew up with. I also have a fashion photographer dad and a supermodel mum. So as you can imagine, like that skinny sort of lifestyle was very much like all encompassing on my childhood, okay? And so it did leave me with a lot of issues body-wise, you know, body image-wise. I had a lot to learn, and I still have a lot to learn today, clearly. I do believe that that pro-ana content has sort of been flagged as unhealthy content, and I haven't seen it that much recently. However, I have been seeing something new that I don't like the look of, and is very, very reminiscent of the pro-ana content. And that is this thing called skinny talk. I don't know if anyone has seen it, but I'm sure you have, because it is fucking flooding my social media pages. My For You pages are full of skinny talk content. And this seems very similar to pro-ana content. Like, I'm finding it hard to see the differences. Straight up, if you look at the images of pro-ana and you look at the images of skinny talk, there are a few differences. The girls in the skinny talk era are wearing Pilates outfits. They're walking around New York with green juices. There's more color, there's more life to them. It's more like vloggy style. The pro-ana content was definitely more like dark, black and white images. But in the grand scheme of things, it's all fucking the same. I have seen pictures of very thin girls with rules about how to join skinny talk, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do. Okay, I've seen people say, oh, if you're hungry, go for a walk and drink a liter of water. I have seen people say, when you go out to a restaurant, order dessert and take a pic with it, but don't eat any of it. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. If you're hungry, go for a walk and drink water is one of the craziest things that I had heard. I was just like, that is totally insane, okay? That is totally insane. How can you be telling young girls, and by the way, social media is predominantly young girls on the internet. How can you be telling young girls if they're hungry, go for a walk and drink water? Like, that is disordered eating at its highest degree. There is no difference between that and the pro-ana content, and I'm so sorry to say that, but like, it is true. There's also the other side of the skinny talk where people are saying like to eat a certain amount of food, but it's like, there's no way these people are eating that food. It's a complete lie. And it's misleading because then people eat what they eat and want to look like them, but they're not going to look like them because realistically, those people order that food or make that food, eat one bite of it and then throw it away, okay? But they say they eat the whole thing. They don't. So there's two weird sides of this like skinny talk phenomena that's happening that I don't fucking like. And I am a 27-year-old woman. I'm a 27-year-old woman. I've seen shit. You know, I've been through shit. I feel like I understand more than I did when I was 18, 19. You know, I mean, I would fucking hope so. But I feel like I do. And I, 27-year-old woman who has been through similar things like this before, clearly, has been taken in by this content because my For You page has been so overwhelmed by it that I'm starting to fall for it. I'm starting to believe in it. I'm starting to think, oh, maybe that body type is actually the only body type that is desired, that people want, that people need, that people should have. I have maybe been so gluttonous. Have I been so gluttonous in my life and this is really the way I'm meant to be living? Like, full restriction? Is this how human beings were meant to live? And it's like, I feel like I was so above this. I feel like I would see this content and be like, yeah, whatever. But I don't. Yeah, as we saw the other night, I was suggested by a Skinny Talk video to drink ginger tea, okay, if I wanted to suppress my hunger, if I didn't want to eat. Ginger tea was the remedy. This is a fucking coffee with oat milk and sugar, okay? Before anyone gets anything fucking twisted. I had checked myself so fast when that happened. When the ginger tea thing happened, I was like, fuck, wait, no. No. I don't know if it's because I unknowingly liked a comment or a post of a Skinny Talk content creator. And when I say unknowingly, I don't mean I accidentally clicked on it. I mean, I saw a post from them that didn't scream Skinny Talk initially. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. What is that? And then I was like, oh, wait, no. But I have noticed that my feed is flooded with this content. And it kind of happened overnight too, which is kind of making me think that maybe I, built my algorithm piece by piece. So like maybe that was my fault. I can't tell. Or is everyone else just like receiving all of this weird like Skinny Talk content? It's so insane that no one has really said like, this is literally pro-ana, like this should not be on the internet for little kids, especially young women, to be seeing. This is the most toxic stuff I've ever seen. This is the most toxic shit I've ever seen. And it's so difficult with this kind of content because it can be advertised as, clean living. And I would say that the content now, in a way, is even more toxic than the pro-ana 2010, 2000s content, because at least that content was so obviously pro-ana. It was so obvious that these women were so underweight, and these images were very, very like emo, you know what I mean? Like very emotionally charged. And so it was kind of much easier to see, although it was still very, very toxic and got into the minds of people, like me included, it was still much easier to be like, that is fucking pro-ana content, like clear as day. The content now has sort of been rebranded and, girls, walking through New York in like cute Pilates matching outfits and drinking green juices and, walking around in the sunshine with like clear skin and a jawline and cute Prada glasses, and it sort of is seeping into the algorithm quite easily, quite sneakily. Like, it is not clear that this is similar content because it's been dressed up in a way where it just sort of seems like lifestyle influences, And it just isn't. There's something sinister and weird going on in the background with that content, and I can't quite tell you exactly, but it's somehow managed to weasel its way back in, and it is very persuasive. It is very persuasive. Look at me, I'm drinking ginger tea for dinner. Like, what the hell is that? That is not fun. I've also noticed that since watching this content, I have been quite unhappy with myself. Quite unhappy with the way I have been eating, quite unhappy with the amount of exercise I've been doing, even though I initially thought it was, very sufficient and like other people would agree. Like this content is seeping into my everyday life and I notice it all the time because now every time I eat something, I second guess it. I think about it way longer than I fucking should. And it's getting very, very tiring. And I'm really starting to fucking fall for the propaganda. I am really starting to be like, maybe this is the way. And it isn't, okay? I just want to say it is not. It is not, okay? I have been so fucking unhappy since trying to listen to these women online. It is crazy. I can't enjoy anything. I'm obsessed with how I look. I am obsessed with the food I have. I am obsessed with the exercise I do. And I just want to say, it's not real. Somehow the algorithm is really pushing this shit, and I don't know why. And it makes it so easy to believe that this is the only body type that people will respect and desire. And it's not fucking true. It is not true at all. It is not true at all. I don't know why the algorithm is pushing it. It just seems to really, really be pushing it. It is not true. It is false. Women are beautiful of any size, and women are thriving and healthy any size. You do not have to be this little size in order to be accepted into society, okay? And I really am so disappointed because I really, really thought we got past this. Because the body positivity movement now is so incredible and I was just loving it so much. And honestly, my For You page was very much flooded with body positivity stuff, which I fucking loved. And I started to really unfollow a lot of the people that I felt were toxic to my mental well-being. And so I have no idea how everything sort of flipped. And now I'm like seeing all pro Anna content. Not pro Anna content, skinny talk content, but like what the fuck is the difference, you know? If you were noticing it as well, I just want to say it's not true. It's not true. And I think it's so damaging right now, right before summer. This is where it can get really fucking dangerous because people are like, summer, bikini body, get your bikini body ready. Like, if you have a body and you have a bikini on, like, that's a bikini body, okay? You don't have to like specially prepare to go out in public, okay? You're perfect just the way you are. Just don't worry about it. I also think there's a huge difference, and this, again, is why this content is so toxic, is because there is, you know, a difference between getting skinny to get skinny and also just wanting to be healthier, okay? There's a huge difference in that. And I think this skinny talk content can convince you that if you're someone who is trying to lose a little bit of weight, trying to get stronger, trying to be healthier, trying to eat more vegetables, whatever it may be, this content can kind of convince you that that's the way to do it. And that is not the way to do it. You know, because they're eating healthy foods, they're eating like acai bowls and like green juices and green smoothies and like protein bars and stuff. Like that stuff can seep in and convince you that if you're trying to be a healthier person, that's the way to do it. And that is not the way to do it. And I just want to stress that so badly because I have noticed that every time I eat something, every time I enjoy something, I spend the whole day thinking about it, ruminating over it. And then I'm just like, I'm just not going to eat for dinner, okay? I'm just going to have a ginger tea. And it's just like making me so unhappy. And I just wanted to say, like, I don't think that I'm the only one that is experiencing this at the moment. And, you know, like summer is coming. Shorts get shorter, tops get smaller, you know, bikinis go on. People get very, very self-conscious about the way that they look, me included. I find myself walking down the street and every shop window I walk past, I'll like body check myself. And that is just so whack. Like, I don't want to fucking do that. I spent so long not doing that, okay? There is way more to life than the fucking way you look. There is way more to life. Like, I cannot stress that enough. It's insane. As long as you feel good, you know, if you're bigger than you wish to be and you want to lose weight, that is so different. That is so, so different than what these people are trying to push onto us. That is just completely worlds apart, all right? I'm so pro people wanting to change their bodies whatever way they wish. I would say that skinny talk content is actually worse than pro Anna content, and I'm going to tell you why. Pro Anna content, at least the stuff I used to see when I was growing up, was very obviously pro Anna content. It had a very obvious aesthetic, okay? It was a lot of black and white photos of very, very skinny girls, bones sticking out of various parts of their bodies and stuff like that. Had a lot of measuring tapes involved, a lot of scales involved, a lot of stuff like that. And it did not have specific diets or lifestyle suggestions, really. The only suggestion that pro Anna content really gave you was like, don't eat. That's pretty much all it said. Don't eat. Do anything you can to be skinny. Skinny talk, however, has sort of disguised itself as influencers trying to make you live better, influencing you to live a healthier lifestyle. But in fact, all they're trying to do is convince you that being skinny is the best. But there are a lot of excuses that they use in order to convince you that they are right. And that is where skinny talk gets extremely dangerous because I follow a lot of lifestyle influencers. I think they're fucking great, all right? I follow a lot of healthy women, you know, treating their bodies as bodies should be treated, enjoying life, having fun, all right? And the skinny talk content creators have adopted this aesthetic. So it almost doesn't look any different. The people in the videos look a bit different, but the general aesthetic of the videos don't look that different. It's cute women walking down the streets of LA, eating things, sitting at cafes, going to Pilates classes, having, you know, coffee with their friends, hanging out with cute little puppies, just like living their life, cleaning their apartments, getting ready, what I eat in a day. Like, it's all very similar content. And that is why Skinny Talk is able to sneak into that algorithm so easily without us really noticing. And that is why I would say that it is even more dangerous than pro-ana content, because it is so easily taken in. Pro-ana content was very much like you would glance at it and be like, oh, that's pro-ana content. And if you didn't want to see it, you could just like swipe away very, very fast. This stuff is very different. I've watched so many TikTok videos thinking it was something else and it was actually just like complete Skinny Talk content. And I didn't even know. But then at that point, I'm into it. Social media is very, very magnetic and can suck you in so fast, okay? You can get attached to people that you see on social media very, very quickly, all right? Even if you watch one TikTok, even if you see one post of theirs, you can suddenly sort of become enamored with these people and just like want to see more and more and more. And like, more often than not, when I see a new person I like on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I'll click on their profile and I'll like spend a couple minutes sort of almost stalking their page and going through a lot more of their content because I liked the first thing I saw, so I want to see more of it. And that is kind of the beauty of social media, is you're able to see more and more and more. But the Skinny Talk content will trick you and it'll disguise itself as just, you know, another actual healthy lifestyle influencer video. When in fact, it is not. It is not. Another thing that Skinny Talk content does is it uses a lot of, you know, science, fake science, I would say, but it uses a lot of things that people sort of gravitate to when they think of healthy lifestyle choices. They grab onto little aspects of your life, little aspects of your body's functions that you may not initially think about. And it deems itself as educational. And so you'll see it and you'll be like, wow, I never even thought, like, maybe the reason I'm bloated is because this and this and this. And maybe I should just do what these girls do because these girls are super skinny and seem to never get bloat and just like look, you know, what I think looks great because they're telling me it looks great. I think it looks great, you know. Maybe these women know something I don't know. So I'm going to follow them and I'm going to do what they say because they have all these long words. They have all these like scientific facts. I did that in air quotes if you guys not watching me and listening. Scientific facts. So maybe they're legit. Maybe they know what they're fucking talking about. So maybe I'll listen a little bit more than I listen to the pro-ana content. Because the pro-ana content, I could notice instantly. This is a little trickier. I really, really thought that I was someone who, you know, was above that kind of stuff, was above being influenced in a negative way on the internet. But I'm not. I am not. Clearly, as we saw in the beginning of this video, I was convinced by a Skinny Talk content creator that drinking a cup of ginger tea is really, really good for bloat and it's really, really good for your stomach. And sometimes you shouldn't eat past a certain point in the nighttime. And if you haven't yet at this certain point in the nighttime, you should just drink ginger tea because it's going to be really, really good for your gut health. And that was what it was advertised as. And I quickly gravitated towards that and I quickly saw that and I was like, oh, okay, it's healthy, but it's not healthy. And after I did it and after I went to bed, you know, hungry and sad and sort of a bit depressed feeling, I soon clicked in and realized what had actually happened. And I did not follow a healthy influencer. I followed a very unhealthy influencer and their advice on how to live a healthy life. Skinny Talk is very good at disguising its suggestions as something else, you know, like, oh, do this and your gut health will help. But if you kind of look at everything, at the end of the day, it's all food restriction. The remedies are always some type of restricting of food. I wrote down a couple sort of little, you know, things that Skinny Talk uses, which are real and do have real remedies, but I'm just not convinced that these are them. So I wrote down a few things that Skinny Talk has taken and warped, all right? They've taken a problem that like everyone experiences and then they've sort of warped the suggestion because if you have a problem, you want a solution, okay? So then if you go on TikTok and you see a solution, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to follow that. But like, we got to be wary of these things. And yeah. Okay, so anyway, number one is the problem is feeling bloated. Skinny Talk's solution for this is eliminate entire food groups, gluten, dairy, sugar, and caffeine. Bloating is a completely normal, digestion response. But on Skinny Talk, it's pathologized. The presence of any fullness is treated as inflammation, and the answer is always restriction. Bread, cheese, or even fruit becomes dangerous. They think that being full is bloat, and that's not. Sometimes your stomach gets bigger after you've eaten. That is just like a regular thing that happens with everyone's body. Like, that's not specifically bloating. So you don't have to cut out all of these foods just because you eat and then your stomach gets a little bit bigger because there's food in there. Like, that's just a normal thing about the human body. Number 2 is eating a full meal or indulging on the weekends. Skinny Talk solution is go on a detox or a reset. Rather than normalize satisfaction or variety, Skinny Talk frames enjoyment as excess. The proposed fix is a juice cleanse, a 3-day fast, or lemon water with cayenne. In reality, it's just punishment disguised as discipline. Like, just because you ate pizza one night doesn't mean you have to change your whole life and you have to restrict yourself and punish yourself for that. There are so many tasty, delicious things in the world. Like, enjoy them, okay? Enjoy them without punishment. Seriously. Like, that is just ridiculous. Okay, number 3 is waking up hungry. Skinny Talk's solution is skip breakfast and call it intermittent fasting, all right? Hunger is reframed as a weakness to overcome. The glorification of not eating until the afternoon is celebrated as mental strength. Physical needs are dismissed in favor of aesthetic control. Like, being hungry is very, very natural. Everyone is hungry. And being hungry, the feeling of being hungry is just your body being like, we need food, I need nourishment, I'm tired, okay? I haven't eaten in as long as it's been, especially when you wake up from sleeping, like, you're going to be hungry, okay? People are hungry in the morning. Eat breakfast. Number 4, craving sweets or comfort food. Skinny Talk solution is replaced with frozen fruit or healthy swaps. Cravings are invalidated and redirected towards low-calorie alternatives. Rather than understanding hunger or emotional need, Skinny Talk suggests substitution that reinforces food avoidance and guilt, all right? You don't have to avoid everything sugary and quote-unquote bad for you. Life is to be enjoyed. There are so many delicious things to eat. Enjoy them. Do not be ruled by this, all right? And I can say, actually, as also another thing, this is something else that I did fall for too. Buying these sort of like fruit snacks that are like not real snacks, but they're just kind of like fruit dressed up or whatever. And it's like unsatisfactory and kind of depressing, all right? And like also just not fucking worth it. Not fucking worth it. Like, if you're hungry or like you just want like a sweet snack, eat some fucking chocolate, okay? Eat some fucking chocolate. I swear to God, when I was feeling like that and then I just like ate some chocolate, I literally lit up. Like, my brain was like, thank Christ. All right, number 5 is gaining weight. Skinny Talk solution, rebrand dieting as gut health, hormone balancing, or a lifestyle shift. Weight gain, often a normal part of aging or healing, is positioned as a health issue. Solutions are restrictive but cloaked in language like balancing and cleansing, or healing the body, avoiding direct mention of weight loss while clearly signaling it. Like, this is so true. I gained a lot of weight, not a lot of weight, but I gained weight when I decided to stop drinking, okay? Part of my recovery, my addiction recovery, was gaining weight. Part of my healing was gaining weight. And that should have been seen as something really, really positive, but it was not. And these Skinny Talk these Skinny Talk videos are sort of like reinforcing those ideas in my head, being like, ooh, is it really healing if you're gaining weight? Da, 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 da. But it is, not everything has to do with your fucking weight. If you're like mentally healthier and not like wanting to kill yourself, that's healing. The weight is not the issue. Number 6, feeling out of control or anxious. All right, Skinny Talk solution is control every aspect of food intake, calories, ingredients, timing. Emotional distress is redirected towards food as a scapegoat. The algorithm doesn't offer tools to manage anxiety. It offers structure, rules, and self-monitoring as false relief, okay? Number 7, low energy or sadness. Skinny Talk solution, drink lemon water, take a walk, avoid eating to feel light. Instead of nourishment or rest, the solution is always some form of restriction. Emotional discomfort is spiritualized and aestheticized, with restriction framed as empowerment rather than depletion. Skinny Talk reframes human needs as aesthetic failures. Its remedies are almost never about true health. They're about control, minimalism, and compliance. The content doesn't encourage connections to the body, it encourages disconnection from it. And that is how it is so fucking convincing, because it has all these secret little ways of getting into your head and being, relatable. That's the other problem. it's becoming relatable content, you know? It's like, do you bloat? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, okay, don't eat. And I'm like, okay. Do you get tired sometimes? Yeah, sometimes. Okay. Go on a walk and drink some lemons. Okay. Like, sure. You know, it's like, it has a problem. It gets a problem. It takes a problem that every single person experiences, and it gives it it gives us these weird solutions that are just like disordered eating, but disguised as like healthy living, you know? And it's really, really hard because it's really sneaking itself into everyone's life. But we just got to stay, you know, on check about that because it's so damaging. And like, life is to be enjoyed. There's so many fun, cool things in life that we should experience. And being obsessed with the way you look is so distracting from that, okay? And living a life where you're just obsessed with the way you look and your weight, like, will distract you from so many fun things. I had another day where I was just feeling really down about the way I looked for some reason, probably because I was spending too much time on the internet and saw a lot of skinny talk content, and I had family in town, and I was completely distracted from having a great day with my family, and I spent the whole day obsessing over like what I already ate, what I ate yesterday, what I ate the day before, did I exercise, da, 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 da. And I was just in a bad mood the whole day. It's sneaky, it's dangerous, it's scary, it's annoying, it's stupid. And I just think that we have to keep our eyes open because it can seep into our brains so easily, so fucking easily. And as, you know, a TikTok generation, we are on the internet a lot and like whatever, people can judge us, but that's just like how we were raised, whatever. I really don't mind. I think there are really, really great things on the internet. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Like, I love the fucking internet. I love social media. I love that we have access into people's lives in a way that we didn't before. But I also think that you should very much check what you are looking at because you want to be happy, you know, you want to be happy, and obsessing over the way you look, like you are so much more than the way you look. And it's so interesting actually because now that I'm thinking about it, like all the skinny talk content, like it has nothing to do with anything other than appearance, you know. It doesn't have anything to do with mental health really, or literally anything. I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, it genuinely has nothing to do with anything else but your appearance. Yeah, I don't think it does. I don't think I've ever seen like a skinny talk content creator do like decorate my bedroom with me or anything like that. Well, there you go. Yeah, didn't really think about that, but yeah. Anyway, that's all I really had to say. I just want us to keep our eyes peeled because it's a scary world out there and we got to be so careful. And you are fucking beautiful, okay? You do not need to change anything about you. If there is something you want to change about you, that is totally fine. You do whatever you feel you want to do, but it has to be on your terms, okay? And it shouldn't be making you obsessive, okay? And you are so much more than what you look like anyway. You know, like I saw this one TikTok where people were saying like, I love this person so much because she has hip bones, or, oh, I'm best friends with this person because she has her collarbones showing, or, oh, I'm so obsessed with this person because she has like a perfectly round butt. And I'm like, I'm not obsessed or friends with anyone due to the way that they look. You know, when I hang out with my friends, I'm not like, I love hanging out with this person because they're so thin. Like literally never. I very, very rarely think about the way other people think. Other people look. Sorry, I'm getting tired. I'm very rarely thinking about the way other people look, and so I don't know why I think everyone is always thinking about the way I look, because they're just not, you know. And we just got to enjoy life. Just have fun, okay? Eat the fucking pizza, eat the fucking pasta, eat the fucking ice cream, okay? If exercise makes you feel good, do it. If drinking celery juice in the morning makes you feel good, do it. But make sure it's not like this disordered thing that you're being influenced on the internet by, okay? Just do it for you. Do it for you if it genuinely makes you happy. And just check yourself. Check everything you do and make sure you're doing it for yourself, okay? Make sure you actually are interested in doing it. And it's not just social media making you feel like you have to do it in order to be part of society, okay? Because that's just absolutely fucking false. And we really got to check what we're looking at on social media because, my God, there's scary stuff out there. And it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. So yeah, I just want to say that. I love you guys so much. You're beautiful. You're amazing. And yeah, that's all I really had to say today. Just, you know, let's be so safe. Let's be so mindful of what we are taking in on social media because it's getting tricky and it's tricking all of us, okay? It is tricking all of us. So yeah. All right. I love you guys so much. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Don't worry about anything. Okay. And yeah, I love you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do. It's super helpful to me and you can see anytime I post anything. So yes. But I love you guys so much. And I'll see you next time. Okay. I love you. Bye bye.